Restream is having trouble with the YouTube. There it goes.
Check.
I got it now.
You got it?
We cooking with gas now.
All right, there it is. Yeah. Okay.
Paul is in
Paul?
there. Paul?
Paul?
Tied Raiders in there.
What's up, Tiderator? What's up, Matthew Mangus? Half of the man guy.
There's only one man guy.
What if there's more?
There ain't.
What if they're actually like
there's 9 of them?
Yeah.
Oh. There's his brother in there, Daniel Mangus, Lee B.
If there's 9 of them, Jeff's really in trouble.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
right?
no kidding,
The
right?
handicap match numbers are going to really shift into their favor. Matthew says there's 4 of them.
4 brothers?
Yeah. Is there 4 Mangus brothers?
2 sets of twins?
Wow. They can have their own tag team championship matches?
Yeah, no kidding.
One more, they could have had a basketball team.
Oh, nice. What's up,
Yeah,
Michelle
4
Sweat?
brothers. Hey, Michelle. What's up, Raider from Rosa? All right, Swag Jeff. Ron the Materator's not in the chat yet, so I think you got to be on the button here, buddy.
I can do it.
All right. You got to unlock. The
I got that on lock, bruh.
Kids say that, right?
Yeah, they say that, man. Good
Unlock.
call.
Yeah, man.
Good call.
I know what's up. I know what's fire.
Oh.
You know what's bussin'.
All right, there we go.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murph's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, look at the top, a leaping pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players, you have a great organization, and you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down, Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio, hosted by Murph, Uncle Mosh, and Swag Jeff. Take it away, guys.
Why, thank you, Brent Musburger. What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murph back once again for what we hope will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 216 of Raiders Fan Radio, coming to you live from what we call Murph's Fan Cave, or as the kids say, the bonus room. But anyways, we welcome all of you that are joining us live tonight on the YouTubes, on youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. And if you want to join us live, you can always find us at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, each and every Wednesday night, and jump in there with the best of Raider Nation in the chat room. But I'll wait for our social media director to tell you all about that. So in the meantime, though, let's go ahead and get kicked off with the show. We have so much to talk about, as always, because not only just we always have a lot to talk about, but we got the start of the season. Let's go, man. It's time for some freaking football. Finally. So let's start off tonight by welcoming the man that adorns the Western Annex of the Murph's Fan Cave desk, the legendary Uncle Mosh.
Finally, football has come back
To
everywhere.
Vegas. Nice. Welcome to the show, Uncle Mosh.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up with you?
I got in a fight over the weekend.
Yeah, you did.
I
You
did.
You're looking a little beat up over
I'm
there. Tell
looking
everybody
a little
about
beat
it.
up. I got
You lost. You lost this fight.
I did not fare well.
It's the only fight you've ever lost.
Ever in my life. Me and that damn cedar tree. So I got a new chainsaw. and I'll have to look up the picture here. But I got a new chainsaw, and I was out cutting some trees down that were in the way, and so I cut this tree down, and it started falling, and I'm standing there watching it, and I'm in a good spot, and as it fell, it kind of twisted, and there was a limb on the back side of it, and I didn't see it. I was wearing safety goggles, and it was a 1-2 punch, man. The first limb knocked my glasses down. The second one blasted me right in the face. And my wife was over there going, she's kind of cracking up. She's going, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." The next day, my eye was a little shot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I actually had to wear a patch for a while. It was great.
Nice.
Great.
Well, you got plenty of those laying around the house.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So my head was bleeding, my nose was bleeding, my lip was bleeding, and I'm like, she's like, "Go in, go clean up," and I'm like, "No, I'm cutting that limb off and throwing it on the fire first," and I did, and then I threw the chainsaw in the garage and said, "I hate this job," but.
All right, so I got one question to that story.
Go ahead.
You led off by saying you got a new chainsaw.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you borrowed a chainsaw from me.
No, I gave that one back. I went and bought one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, wait, you just claiming my chainsaw?
No. I reclaimed that to your house.
Oh, okay. All
and
right.
then I went and got my own.
And I didn't even have to buy it back?
No, it didn't cost you anything for me to borrow your stuff.
Oh, okay, good.
This time.
Welcome to the show, Uncle Mosh, battered and bruised and all, and look forward to chatting with you about some Raider Nation football tonight. And before we get to that, though, let's welcome the third man in the booth. He is the social media director, the man that adorns the southern annex of the western annex of the Murph's Fan Cave desk, the one and only Swag Jeff.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Swaggo?
What's up, my man? Oh my gosh, it's so good to be here.
Heck yeah.
I got some new swag.
Oh.
Got some new
What do you
swag.
got?
If you're tuning in on the YouTube,
Let's go to the swag desk.
Yeah, so if all you got to do is just look up at the top of this dome right here.
Oh my gosh, that
And
thing,
I got the new logo hat, man.
that is badass. Lean in there. Show the
Take the headphones off for just a hot
Show
second.
man. Look at that, man. The new RFR logo on Jeff's hat on the 47 brand hat is what he's showing.
Well, yeah.
That's a one-off. Those aren't even for sale or nothing.
Not
yeah,
yet.
Man, not yet. I had
Not
to
yet.
get a little custom job.
We had
I got a guy.
We got a guy. We had to prototype it to see how it came out, and it
Yes.
came out freaking badass, man.
So
That was
badass.
Incredible looking hat. We
Yes,
appreciate that.
Absolutely. So speaking of badass, we got some badasses in the chat tonight.
yeah, we
Come
do.
on.
We got Aaron the Q-Dog Raider with a 1911 donation to the
Let's
One
go.
Nation Foundation. Says the moshing dead. I see you. Yeah. And of course
Thank you, Aaron.
we got Renegade in there. Michelle Sweat, Damage Inc. Raider Nation Scotland, who said Mr. and Mrs. Damage Inc. is in the house
Oh,
tonight.
well, welcome, Mrs. Damage Inc.
Absolutely.
So cool.
Absolutely. And Atticus B. Rockin', Storm, Aussie Raider Aaron, Paul from Shropshire, Mississippi.
Nice.
Kevin the Raider Nerd, Tyrone Graves, Kill Jadis is in there. We got the whole crew, man.
That
So
is
we got Canary Islands.
Yes.
Rico's in there.
Yeah.
We got Paul in Shropshire, Mississippi.
Yeah, otherwise known as the UK.
Otherwise known as the UK. And we've got Scotland's finest.
Yeah, Damage Inc.
Damage Inc.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. I love it.
Awesome.
Love it,
Absolutely.
love it. Always good. And we're going to cover, I threatened to do this the other day, and we hadn't gotten to it. But tonight, we're going to go over the made men and made women list, man. And it is so cool when we go through that list to hear all the different locales. Like, I remember when one of my favorite things about Jeff getting jumped into Raider Nation a few years ago now, one of the things I remember you saying was, it's so cool how Raiders fans, he goes, when you look at other fan bases, no one's naming themselves Titan Dave.
Exactly.
Or whatever. But he's like, but Raider fans name themselves after the team. That was one of the things you thought was the coolest.
Yeah, it's the best, man. Yeah, I mean, no one else does what Raider Nation does. And yeah, I mean, and you know, putting Raiders into your own name is something that no one else does. So yeah, it's amazing.
Very cool. And so when we go through the made men and made women list, you're going to hear a lot of those type things where people put Raider in their name, but also the different locations. You hear about all the diversity of geography, and it's just so cool. And we're always so flattered that you choose to spend your Wednesday evening with us, or should it be a Thursday afternoon while you're, what was it, Mosh? Once upon a time, we were the most yoga to Raider podcast.
Yep.
The most
Goat yoga. Goat
yoga.
yoga.
It was actual, and that's not a joke.
No, we were the most goat yoga to podcast in the world.
Yes, in the world.
Or was it Costa Rica? I don't remember.
I don't know.
But it didn't. We were number one.
We were number one, though. And then most scrabbled, too. And thanks to Grammy and
Right.
Grampy
Yeah,
Raider.
someone was painting their house.
Pam
I
was
think.
painting their house. We had a lot of yard work going on. A lot of people that put old Raiders fan radio on in their device and then, bebop around the lawn listening to us. Yeah, so we're the most who is it that does the dishes? Is that Big Mike? Big Mike? I think it's Big Mike.
Big Mike does the dishes, yeah.
He does the dishes and listens. Yeah, like he always puts us on late. Anyway, so appreciate all of you making us a part of anything that you do, working out, painting houses, cutting the grass, whatever that is.
Hey, so let's talk about something.
Okay, let's talk about
my
it.
camera.
All right, I got you.
Look at my shirt.
Okay, Big Raider Trucker. You can get that shirt on our website.
Right? Yeah, and then on the back.
Yes.
On the back.
All right, on the back. There you go. All right. Uncle Mosh is now showing a shirt that says, "What happens in Vegas started in Oakland," a very now famous coined term that started on this show by the Big Raider Trucker. He actually won what do we call it? The catchphrase contest.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And we love that. And then of course Swaggy J is sporting his DC4 jersey.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
And it does not say Mariota on the back, I promise.
No, it doesn't say four times 2 equals love.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's on my boxers that I got. I got the Mario boxers.
And then your shirt, which I think is just a badass shirt.
Thanks, Mosh.
That is so cool.
Thank you.
It's because it's skulls, so it's appropriate for the show.
Oh yeah, it's got a Calavera on there, man.
And then tell the story.
Well, that's it's a band called the Dead Deads. They're a local Nashville band, an all-girl punk rock / metal band that plays out of East Nashville. Man, it's very, very cool. So I went and saw the Dead Deads play last night. They did an amazing show, and so I had to get some cool merch, man.
You've been kind of on I'm going to call it the Murph concert tour.
I've been going to a lot of concerts.
And Vinny, it's like you and Vinny are having whenever you guys have like Tristan withdrawals. You guys go to a concert.
We go to a concert.
So
man.
you like this summer. It's been the summer of concerts. You've seen.
Now the Dead Deads open, and they opened for Candlebox, which was again phenomenal. The girls all kicked ass. It was great.
The Black Crows.
Black Crows with Dirty Honey opening was an amazing show.
In Birmingham, you guys spent the night.
Yep.
And then you went to the one
Greta Van Fleet here in Nashville. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, tons of. Well, look, one of the cool things about living where we live in Middle Tennessee is that we have access to amazing concerts and amazing live music.
Right.
And so we've been taking it into the fullest. So yeah, absolutely. All right, so here at the top of the show, we always like to take our show episode number and connect it back to something significant within Raider Nation. And in this case, that is episode number 216 of Raiders Fan Radio, and always so well every single week. This task is handled by the great Swag Jeff.
Well, yeah, and proudly so. So episode number 216, we're going to take it back to the 2012 season. We're going back to 2012, and we're going to be highlighting everyone's favorite running back at the time, Darren McFadden.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
man.
Okay.
So Darren McFadden, not a lot on the ground. Not a lot on the ground that year.
Okay.
Was he getting poached by touchdowns by Michael Bush?
Sorry, I was reading
2012?
He was hurt. So Darren McFadden used to be hurt all the time. He had that. The only reason I know what plantar fasciitis is because Darren McFadden's NFL career, in which he was plagued by foot injuries.
Yeah, but so even with an injury-shortened season then, not too bad. 707 yards and a pair of scores. Not bad with an injury-prone season. But he ran the ball 216 times.
Oh, nicely done.
Nice. Good job, Swagness. So, plantar fasciitis is not fun.
You've had it.
I had it, and it got so bad that if you remember right, I was having to get the cortisone shots in my feet.
Yeah.
And so you go in there, and the guy sprays the numbing stuff on you, right? Sprays the stuff that numbs you, and it's the cold. We used to call it cold spray back in you'd hurt your thumb or right, like if you dislocated your pinky or something, they'd spray that on there, then pop it back in a spot, whatever. Anyway, it's been around forever. So he would spray my foot and then bring out this needle. I swear the thing had to be 8 feet long and jam that into the arch of my foot and get those cortisone shots, and it helped. And then they'd wake me up. And then
Nice.
Yeah, it was plantar fasciitis is not good,
not
man.
fun. Not fun. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into this episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 216. Uncle Mosh, get us some contact info.
Gladly. And I just want to say one time that my friends from Australia are in the house.
Oh, who's that? What's up, Aussie Raider Aaron?
Woo! Hey, Raider Nation! You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346, or as Murph would say it, 909-345-3346. How about emailing me? You want to email me? Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast, the Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio, Insta something, Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio, the tiki-tiki-taki-talk, TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio, or what about the Twitch? Some of you out there twitching. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Good. All right, appreciate you, Uncle Mosh, appreciate you for the contact info. And hey, listen, all you crazy kids out there that are on the TikToks, hit us up, man. So we're on the TikTok. We're at Raiders Fan Radio. We're now at 800 followers on TikTok. I never thought that our TikTok would grow as quick as it has. We've been having a lot of fun over there on the TikTok.
We got a good one today.
We had a good one today. Swag Jeff, tell them about that. Give them an idea what they can find on the TikToks around here.
Yeah, so you can find all kinds of stuff. You can find Murph riding around on a bicycle, sipping on a Modelo.
Heck yeah.
You can find Murph coming in hot into the fan cave, Stone Cold Steve Austin style.
Yes.
Uncle Mosh kicking my ass
a few times,
several times, it's
choking you out.
Yeah, man, it's about every other TikTok. Yeah, I get my ass beat a little bit, but or kicked in the unspeakable areas.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay, buddy.
I'm glad you got two wonderful children already.
Well, yeah, and I don't want any more. So we may plan another TikTok.
And what was the one today?
So the one today, Murph challenged me to a shotgun contest.
Shotgun of beers.
Shotgun a beer contest, man, and it didn't go according to plan.
I lost.
You did. You lost. You definitely lost. Yeah.
Tell them why I lost, Swag Jeff.
Well, because
no, don't tell them.
Okay.
Don't.
Go to the TikToks. And
I had to change an outfit. I'll say that.
Go to the TikToks at Raiders Fan Radio and check us out. Give us a follow there, and I promise you will be entertained.
Yes.
All right. So around here on the network, so we got a few things going on in terms of content-wise. I just did a new episode of Mondays with Mikey and Murph.
Mondays with Mikey and Murph.
Which we get asked about all the time. Always get asked about Mikey. And Mikey and I spoke this week, and I'm like, bro, let's just get on and do a show. Let's just do one.
I love it.
So Mikey scripted one up for us, and we jumped on and did a Mondays with Mikey and Murph. So here's what we got on Mondays with Mikey and Murph. So we're not going to feature the audio on the channel anymore, on the audio version of the channel. But the video of Mondays with Mikey and Murph, because Mikey doesn't have a YouTube channel anymore, you're going to now see on our YouTube channel. So
cool.
So we recorded it, and I'll upload it tomorrow night. So that way you got plenty of time to catch it before the season starts. Very typical Mondays with Mikey and Murph stuff. We are all over the place. Yes, it's all Raiders related, but we hit every single topic that happened in the offseason and whatnot. It's a 2-hour show. It was a lot of fun reconnecting with Mikey again. So look for that here on the channel. If you want to watch it before that, you can go to Mikey's Patreon, and you can find Mikey on Twitter. He's Mikey Raider. Just look for him on the Patreon there, and then you can, pay. It's like, I don't know, $2 or something. It's not like it's expensive to it's like $2 a month. It's not even like an episode, and then you can watch it whenever you want.
Is he doing his other stuff on that channel as well?
Yes, he's doing everything on there for early access, and then he's uploading it to Twitch, which is, I think he's Raider Central Live now on the Twitch. So definitely support our good friend Mikey. And then if you want to wait until a few days after the fact, after Mikey gets all his stuff up, then we'll put the episode up on the Raiders Fan Radio site. So definitely look for that from Mondays with Mikey and Murph. In fact, and I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but we're just going to give Mikey respect for putting that thing together and willing to re-engage in that show. We appreciate that. But then also what you'll find audio only, you won't find in a video, is a show called Flashback. And that's our good friend Rich Schmelter. He is the author of the Raiders Encyclopedia, and he goes through something really cool, like a story or an era or a particular player or person associated with the Raiders throughout history. And so episode 6 is out live at Raiders Fan Radio on any podcast service, and you can find it, episode 6. This one, I hadn't a chance to listen to it yet. I posted it up, but it's about the Raiders outlaw image, which is something that we are obviously huge fans of, but like as a fan of history and a fan of origin stories and things like that, I'm looking forward to checking out Rich's episode where he talks about the origin of that outlaw image and where all that stuff came from. So look forward to that, and thank you for Rich, who is he's doing a great job. They're
my gosh,
they're like 8 to 12 minutes. They're super easy to just
fun, man.
Pop on there and listen. Yeah, great stuff there from Rich. All right, so here at the top of the show, we like to give respect. Hey, we don't do props, we don't do shout-outs. Nothing wrong with those things, but we like to give respect. We're Italian, we like to give respect.
We got to give a little respect.
Yeah, a little respect. First off, I want to give respect to my oldest kid. My son, he's not a kid anymore. He's a man now.
He's a man.
And that is Tristan, and that young man is now, as of today, or as of yesterday, officially a sailor. And as he graduates from Navy boot camp, and look forward to going and watching him in his graduation ceremony on Friday. Where he graduates before he goes off onto A school and on to serve in the world's greatest Navy, man, and is going to serve as a CB and look forward to watching his career, of course. And I just can't wait to see the guy, man. And every time I get a letter from him, he always says, "Mom sending me Raider scores. Way to dominate the Hawks, Dad." Like he's always got a Raider comment in there, man. So anyway, so much respect to young sailor Tristan Murphy, man.
He's so funny because I got a letter from him yesterday as well. And I got one, and my wife got one, and he must have got a deal on stamps because he sent them in 2 separate envelopes, and we've been writing them religiously twice a week, both of us, and she sends him cards and everything, but God bless him. I'm so proud of him, he's not other than the fact that he's my great nephew, but he's my namesake, for crying out loud.
Yeah, he's named after you. Yeah,
and I'm looking, and he's not a recruit anymore, and he's a seaman. He's an E2 or E3. I don't remember what he got on his contract, but now that he's done, and then as we look back at our other Navy buddy, we look back at Mojo, who just got
promoted to lieutenant commander.
Lieutenant commander. For those of you that don't know Navy ranks, that's the same as a major. That's an 04. That's an officer 4. So it's just so cool that Mojo is winding down his career as a major, and Tristan's coming in. He started as an E1 and working his way up just like Mojo did. It's so awesome. I'm so proud of these guys. It's just hard to not be proud of them.
Absolutely. Appreciate you saying that, Mosh. Yeah, absolutely, man.
And I got Swaggy J. One of my what did I call you? My top 3 students.
Yeah, my second
favorite. Yeah, and your little brother he's been in for 4 years, 5 years.
He's been in since 2013. So it'll be 8 years.
Oh my gosh, and he's an E6.
Yeah, he's E5.
E5, E6, something like that. It's just the greatest Navy in the world, and all these people we know, and it's just awesome.
That's so cool. And to come full circle here before we close out this part, but like the reason that Tristan chose to be a CB was because your dad, my great grandfather, was a CB, and so anyways,
in World War II,
War II, man. So we definitely just much respect to all of you, and I know there are so many that listen to us, whether it's the Navy or another branch of the military.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You just know that we love you, man, and we appreciate you so much for what you do when you go to work every day. All right, I mentioned Mikey. I want to give respect to him. him for that Mondays with Mikey and Murph. It was really, really fun to reconnect with him. And so definitely look forward to that coming up on Thursday. And I want to give respect once again. We gave him to last week. We are now part of the Fansided crew. So we are now part of the Fansided podcast network. We are the official podcast now of Fansided, and then of course Just Blog Baby, which so many of you know. And these folks have just been incredibly kind to us. They treat us like we're a big deal, and we know we're just three knucklehead fans in my bonus room. But they have just made us feel an incredible welcome to be part of their team, and we're incredibly thankful.
Yes.
Thank again Cribsy for finding us, Carrie for following through on so many wonderful things each and every week. I hear from her almost every day sometimes, and then of course Patrick, the guy that oversees the whole thing. Thank you to you three and everybody with Fansided. We are proud members now of the Fansided network, and definitely support all of the Fansided material out there if you're a fan of this show, and let them know where you heard about them if you haven't heard about them, which I'm sure you did. But then definitely Just Blog Baby, like definitely patronize Just Blog Baby. Go check out their articles. They have great stuff over there. Like,
it's so cool. Yeah.
It's so cool, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to give respect to Tyrone Graves.
Okay, please.
$5 donation to the One Nation Foundation says, thanks for your service and dedication, Tristan. Best wishes and prayers to you.
Thank you. Salud.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Tyrone. Appreciate that, brother. All right. I got one more bit of respect. So here we go. This is funny.
Okay.
You might have caught this story. Mosh, I don't know if you did. But I'm going to give respect to Amazon. Now,
okay.
What does Amazon need respect from us for? It's the biggest freaking company in the world.
They got more money than we do.
Well, they do. Although, and two, you can check out our link here, and there's an Amazon Smile link.
Yes.
If you click that link.
Is there really?
If you shop through the Amazon Smile link, the One Nation Foundation gets a donation from all of your Amazon purchases.
Come on.
Yeah, so definitely do that. So we love them for that. But more importantly, this is funny. Okay, so the story, I'm going to let the news broadcast kind of give you the story, but I'll just set it up in this way. There's an elementary school in Kansas that ordered a bunch of footballs. What kind of footballs do you think they ordered, Mosh?
Silver and black?
No,
Raider
Chiefs footballs.
Right.
They're in Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ordered Chiefs footballs.
All right, and Olathe, the school is dealing with a mix-up. Heritage Elementary ordered Chiefs footballs, but received Raiders footballs instead. Yeah, they ordered Chiefs footballs for students to use in PE classes.
Nice.
Yes, so you're thinking, is this a joke, or did Amazon
This
do
is the
this
guy
on purpose?
at the school.
I highly doubt it. I think it's probably an honest mistake. But I'm thinking we've got great Chiefs fans, and we can't have Raider Nation footballs in Chiefs Kingdom. So we got to dispose of them somehow.
Parsons is not sure where efforts to return the footballs are at this point. He's hoping that maybe some Chiefs fans might make a donation to Olathe the School's foundation and then receive the Raiders footballs to dispose of as they see fit.
All right, so I love this. So look, okay, odds are it was a legit mix-up.
Right.
But there's a part of me that wants to think there's some Raider fan in an Amazon distribution center somewhere that saw this order come through and went, all right, let's change the narrative up on this one and load it full. And let me say this too. I don't know what this school is. If our word ever found its way back to that school, we will gladly make a donation to that school from the One Nation Foundation in exchange for every single one of those footballs.
Absolutely.
Send us, and I can't say you name it because the budget isn't endless, but we'll make a considerable donation above what you spent on the footballs from the One Nation Foundation to your school, and you send us that footballs and let us dispose of them, because we'll dispose of them by dispersing them to all of our listening audience.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Yes,
Yeah,
100%. So before we move on, I have two more things I want to get to really quick. Schmucky the Raider Bear, $10 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Come on.
Says the one and only time I'll support a shout out to Amazon. Yeah, absolutely. But I want to give respect to Samoan Raider. And all the other Raider content creators.
Yep.
Samoan Raider started a fantasy football league, and so folks like myself, Samoan Raider Cody's in there, Kenny King, Mikey's in there, Graphic Raiders in there, Raider Honcho's in there, Ray the Tape is in there, Spotlight Raider Talk is in there.
All the content creators we
all
like.
All the content creators we
All
like.
the ones that still talk to us.
Yeah, I would have dropped out if that one guy did, But yeah, so we had so much fun. He was live on the YouTube with the draft, and everyone gave me crap because I drafted like you did.
You drafted all Raiders.
I was
so proud. I rolled a tear on that one, dude.
Absolutely. I had the second overall pick, so I could have got my pick of Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, whoever. No, I went D-Wall. I went D-Wall, baby. And then my next pick, because it was a snake draft, and it's a 12-team league, so it's a deep league, got all the way back to me at pick 22, Derek Carr.
Let's go.
And then 3 picks later, I went Brian Edwards.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man.
Love it.
Absolutely. Yeah, man.
Love
Someone
it.
had to be the homer in that league.
Well, that's what, and let's look, as like it goes when you say, hey, look, no offense, or when you say, hey, no disrespect, but then usually what comes right after that is disrespect.
Yeah.
But it really isn't disrespect because we really do love all these guys. But let me just say this: who's the real Raider fans now?
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, seriously.
Well,
like, that's why I suck at fantasy football, because I can't not pick Raiders.
Exactly.
We have our draft, so I'm in 2 leagues.
Yes.
I'm in the one with you and your dad and your family, where I did successfully draft all Raiders. But I'm also in Trent Sigg's league. Trent Sigg,
nice.
the long snapper for the Raiders. He's got a fantasy football league, and I'm in his league. Well, his draft is like right now. Like, it's going on right now.
Okay.
So what did I do? I went into ESPN, and I put Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, Henry Ruggs, Brian Edwards, Hunter Renfrow, the Raiders defense, Daniel Carlson. Like, I put Kenyon Drake. I put them all at the top of the list for the auto draft. And then I excluded the entirety of our division, plus the Steelers,
100%,
plus the Cowboys, plus the Niners, plus the Patriots, because I will gladly lose my ass each and every week in this fantasy league before I'm going to root for stupid Travis Kelce because he caught a touchdown and got me points in a fake football league.
Amen.
Like, forget it, dude.
Amen. And you know what? And I won't call out who it was because honestly I forgot. But like 3 days before the draft, I was harping on in our group chat. No one better pick a Chief. No one better pick a Bronco. No one better pick a Charger.
I think it was Sanjit.
Yeah, and sure as crap.
Was it Sanjit? I think he's the one first one that went first Chief.
He got no, he was the second one. He took Mahomes.
He took Mahomes.
Mahomes, but someone in the first round snatched Kelce. I'm like, guys,
really?
What are we doing?
You can't do that. It's too
tough.
tough.
This is a
man.
Raider fantasy league, man. Come on.
You would
what
think,
are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
You know, I mean, and it was a pay league, you know, so everyone had to throw in a little bit of money, and that's fine. But you know what? I'd rather lose $25 and not root for my, the people that I hate the most.
Keenan Allen.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm with you, dude.
Exactly.
I'm with you. All right, let's jump into some Raider talk here at the top of the show. Uncle Mosh, hit us with a break.
I got one planned.
Oh, okay.
This guy.
Plan your breaks. Oh,
what's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Will Compton. You're listening to Raiders Fan Radio with my boys Murph, Swaggy Jeff, and Uncle Mosh. Tune in because they put out a banger podcast.
I also got some news for you.
Okay.
I got the address to Heritage Elementary School in Olathe, Kansas.
Oh, no. Did you really?
I did. It's 1700 East Pawnee Drive, Olathe, Kansas. 66062.
They got a phone number?
Yep. 1-913-780-7490.
I'll call them tomorrow.
Call them, Raider Nation. Call them. Tell them
to send it to RFR.
Tell them Raiders Fan Radio and the One Nation Foundation are willing to make a donation to your school,
right,
for more than you paid for the footballs, whatever that number needs to be. That's within reason of our budget, and we will send you that money, and then you send us those footballs, and then we will send them to everybody that's in the chat room.
Yeah, if we have
seriously, we'll just send them out to everybody.
Do we have anybody listening in Olathe, Kansas?
Who knows?
I don't
know. We have listeners all over the country, so I'm sure we got somebody out there.
Yeah, so
there you go. Give that number one more time, Mosh.
The number here is 1-913-780-7490. And that's Heritage Elementary School in Olathe, Kansas.
Oh my gosh, I love this. I hope this takes off.
Me too.
I hope that we have a groundswell on this, and that school gets loaded up with phone calls tomorrow.
Yep.
with people saying that Raiders Fan Radio and the One Nation Foundation wants to buy all those footballs.
Wants to buy those footballs and make a donation.
And make a donation. Yeah. They'll be the first time the One Nation Foundation hasn't given directly to a Raider-related charity. But listen, it is on behalf of the Raiders to a very good, which I don't know the folks at the elementary, but considering the amount of teachers that we have in our family, especially Uncle Mosh and his lovely wife, my Aunt Kathy, they are both retired, lifetime teachers. And so we will gladly donate to an educational institution. Like, absolutely. So that'd be great. That'd be fun. That'd be a really fun thing there. So call them. All right. Okay. All right, fellas. You ready for this?
Hit me.
Let's go. We don't do this a lot, but I got inspired by...
Talk about the Raiders?
Here at the top of the show?
How far are we in on this thing yet? Have we got, like...
not quite an hour. Not quite an hour.
40 minutes, top of the show.
We're good. And we did a bunch of Raider stuff, too. I mean, as a Raider...
We did. Just kidding.
Hey, we call them Raider adjacents.
Yeah.
Hey. All right. So, well, I'll tell you what. Shout out the chat before we do that.
We got Storm in there, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Big Easy, Chevy Silver Raider, Lino the Full Metal Mexican, Super Him, Big Easy, Ron the Mater Raider, D the Sun's in there, Schmucky the Raider Bear, Schmucky the Raider Bear, $10 donation to the One Nation Foundation. Oh, I already shouted that out. But thanks again, buddy. Daniel Mangus, a $5 donation, and Mike Nezer, a $5 donation.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Thank you so very, very much. And 100% of that money, whether super chats, anything else that we make through now our fan side of relationship, you guys know that money goes straight to the One Nation Foundation so we can send it to elementary schools in Kansas. All right. So anyway, doing Mondays with Mikey Murph yesterday, I was incredibly inspired. Reconnected with Mikey on some topics because Mikey's really good at he's the author of that show. It's his brainchild. He puts it all together. I just get to show up and talk, which is really, really fun.
It's kind of like you and me, Swag.
Exactly what we do.
Exactly. There you go. Right. So I'm the, excuse me. I'm the Mosh.
Easy there, hot dog.
You're the. He choked on a hot dog.
Hey. It took me a minute.
You just got all Peter Brady again. That's 2 weeks in a row.
Wait a minute, man. It took me a second. I'm a little slow.
Holy cow.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Oh, man. I'm not going to do it.
At the top of our show,
here we go. I'm
not
going to go that way. Okay, we'll talk about it after the show. Remind me to tell you the joke. Okay. You know where I'm going with this.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things that I really enjoy about doing Mondays with Mikey Murph is that he asks me a lot of questions about my opinion about things, my opinion about various different topics as far as projecting into where I think that what.
No, keep going. Okay. I'm saying come to me next.
Okay. Don't do it. Don't say the joke if that's where you're going. Okay.
Just go with your thought. You're killing me right now.
All right. So he asked me all my opinions about what I think is going to happen. It's all speculation. And it's difficult when you get into the speculation game because you know what I mean? None of us know what the thing is actually going to happen, but it's kind of fun. So I already gave out all my opinions, which is going to be on the new episode of Mondays with Mikey and Murph. So I'm going to do the question asking now to you two.
Okay.
So I'm going to throw out a bunch of outlooks and prediction questions to you guys. You ready?
Okay. So what I was going to laughing at is if you've never listened to Mikey and Murph, it just absolutely kills me. The funniest thing ever is when Mikey asks you your opinion and then tells you how wrong it is. He'll go, Murph, what color do you think that blue sky is? And you go, blue. And he goes, no, you're wrong, Murph. No, there's a hint of it, but not really, Murph.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's like a magenta.
Let me sway you to this.
Yeah. He does. He tries to sell back a lot. Yeah, that's part of the fun of the dynamic of that show,
Murph,
for sure.
You can have the last word, but then I'm going to recap what you just said.
Absolutely. That's my favorite. That is my favorite. And it's funny because we almost do that to each other, too.
It's so funny.
It's so funny. We have our little nuances and things in that show. And my favorite part about it, too, is that Mikey's he's such a good friend. He's a good dude. And he can be at times, I know, a polarizing figure and whatnot in the fan community. But I got to tell you, man, he's got a heart of gold, and we have a lot of fun.
A heart of silver and black, actually.
Well, hey, thank you, Mosh.
Yep.
Good pickup there. All right, so let's get to some 2021 outlooks and predictions. So we're going to start off, and while we're talking about all this stuff, chat room, blow us up, man. Tell us what your thoughts are about all this stuff, because I want to know what you all think, too. I don't get a chance to read the chat during the course of the show, but I will definitely go back and read it afterwards. So let's go with just week 1, and then we're going to get into the entirety of the season, okay? So, Jeff, let's start with you, all right? So, the week 1 matchup. Now, granted, look, we don't study film. We're not wannabe analysts. There are plenty of those type people on the internet. There's tons of folks out there that are, want to show you their film prowess and whatever, and some of them are very good, but that's not what we do. We give you opinions based on we're fans. We like to watch football. We like to talk football, and that's it. So we're not going to give you any scientific approaches here. But Jeff, when it comes to week 1 against the Ravens, what are your expectations of the game? And then give me an idea of what some of the matchups that you would be looking forward to.
My outlook on the game, I'm looking to see Darren Waller start right where he left off last year. I'm looking to see him get involved really quickly. I'm also looking to see Josh Jacob and Kenyon Drake. I'm interested to see what that dynamic is going to look like, since we didn't see either one of them. And then the one that I think I'm most looking forward to, which I think we were looking forward to last year, is Brian Edwards as our true number 2.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And red zone target, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. I like it. So what any particular matchup that you're looking forward to in terms of it doesn't have to be like player to player, but like position to position or like.
Well, if you want to talk position to position, I'm looking for Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue versus Lamar Jackson.
There you go. Right on. Yeah. We got to put him on his ass.
Yeah. And KJ Wright too. Oh my gosh. I mean, there's so much. I don't want to steal all of Mosh's, but I'm excited about so much.
Right on. Mosh, what do you got? Anything?
I want to see the defense. I'm so I'm so excited about our offense. I'm over the moon for it with all the new weapons that we've got and some of the old weapons coming back. But I'm more excited to see this new defense with our new defensive coordinator and to see what we all were so quick to point the finger at our defense last year, and rightly so. So was John Gruden. So was everybody else. So were the people that played on that defense, that friend of ours. But now with the new defense, I'm ready, man. I want us to be able to get out there and hold people to 1 or 2 touchdowns. When you and I talked, Swaggy and I talked just the other day about, man, you can't win games when you're scoring 28 points, when you're scoring 35 points, but you're giving up 40.
Right.
And it's gonna be. I'm so excited about that.
Absolutely.
The chat agrees. Paul says he's looking for the Gus Bradley magic. Lamar Jackson versus the linebackers. Brian Edwards versus Marlon Humphrey.
Oh yeah, arguably the best cornerback in football. That's not named Jalen Ramsey.
Absolutely. But I mean, it's defense. Everyone's looking to see what this defense is.
I mean, we know we're going to be stellar offensively.
Yes,
no doubt about it. We got a good offense. We're going to be good there. We're going to put the points on the board. We're going to have big plays. That's just going to happen. But what are we going to do defensively? That's what's awesome. And when you talk about matchups, I want to see them all. I want to see them all because each one, I want to be able to see, can this guy, can we scheme a defense for Kansas City 1 week and then boom, turn around and change it and scheme it for somebody else the next week?
It's interesting you brought that up because something that I read earlier today and I vaguely remembered was that, and I didn't mention this on Mondays with Mikey Murph, so I think it's fair to talk about it here. In 2019, when the Ravens played the Chargers, Gus Bradley, who then at the time was in charge of that Charger defense, played Lamar Jackson with 7 defensive backs on the field, and they upset him. They beat him. And so I'm looking forward to all these dynamic young defenders that we have in the secondary really getting after that Baltimore offense, man. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So let me go. Okay, let's go around the horn again here. Swag Jeff, give me who's going to be the MVP for the Raiders just in week 1?
Derek Carr.
And so is that are we looking at a Raider win here? I'm assuming both you guys think we're going to win the game.
Yeah, 34-21.
Oh, I love it. 34-21. Derek Carr's the MVP because why?
Because he has hit Darren Waller for a touchdown. Brian Edwards is going to have 2 scores.
That sounds like a bold prediction to me.
Inside 20 yards, red zone, 2 red zone touchdowns.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so Derek Carr's your MVP. Bold prediction is a multi-TD game for Brian Edwards. And what was the score again?
34-21.
34-21. Uncle Mosh, what do you got on that? Give me an MVP, bold prediction.
I like score. I like what he's saying. I think my MVP is going to come from the other side of the ball. I think my MVP is going to be Abram. I think he's going to. I think he's going to ball out.
That sounds like a bold prediction too.
It is, and I was just going to say that. That's my bold prediction as well. And I tell you why, because after he gets his pick six, he's got.
That's what I was about to ask you. Is he going to the house?
Yep. And okay. Now I bet on it when I was last time I was at the casino. I made a little wager.
Yeah.
Okay. And I got Oakland in 5 points, but I'm not going to need them.
Oh, let's go.
And I'm saying we're going to get 28, 35, somewhere in there, close to 30-ish.
Okay.
And we're going to hold them. We're going to hold them under 2 scores.
What?
Wow.
Under 2 scores.
So you're thinking like a 28-10 game?
28-10, yeah. Maybe 28-7.
Oh,
it's going to
bold.
be, yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love bold predictions, man. That is awesome, fellas. Good stuff, man. I dig it. I love the Abram. I'll give you a little teaser. I picked Abram, too, as my defensive MVP of the game because for a different reason, though. I love what Gus Bradley did in the preseason with the amount of blitzes, and I think that he knows that, look, Jonathan Abram, if it's fair to criticize him in any aspect of his game, it's coverage ability. That's why you drafted Trayvon Merrick.
Yep.
But what can Abram do? He can be disruptive at the line of scrimmage. You can put him on a blitz. He goes in there, strip sacks freaking Lamar Jackson, and it seals the game for the Raiders.
Sure.
Or picks it up and runs it in for, you know what I mean? That kind of a play. And look, and here's the thing is that these may be bold predictions that we're throwing around. We're throwing around some amazing scenarios here, but like, that's the kind of stuff you need to win a freaking football game against a very good football team and elite quarterback in week 1 of Monday Night Football. So, yes, they're bold predictions, but this is the kind of stuff that we need to go down, Raider Nation. We need to hit on some of these things. All right, so great stuff there from the fellas. All right, let's get into the year, okay? Let's get into what we think is going to happen for the year. Now, you've heard me rally for many, many shows against Pro Football Focus and their PFF scores that they assign to players. I will give credit where credit is due at times. And even though I'm not a huge fan of their organization, I think that it is incredibly fair that they gave the Raiders the PFF score treatment to the entirety of the team. Now, while I disagree with the win total, I do agree with a lot of the points that PFF is making here. So let's go to some audio, and then Mosh, I want to go to you in terms of, because you alluded to the bets you made. Right now, the Raiders what were they when you bet them? Was it 7 wins? Was it more than 7 wins?
Yeah, because I did another bet too that they would get to the playoffs.
Okay.
And that one had a favorable payback on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like 4-1, I think.
Okay.
Like that.
So 4-1, and then I believe they're over. We talked about this on the show. Their over under was at like 7 or something. It was really low.
Yeah,
remember?
Yeah.
All right. Well, so here comes PFF telling you that the Raiders, according to their calculations, are good for at least 9 wins.
We go from the NFC to the AFC. I did not expect this name, the Las Vegas Raiders. You're high on.
Yeah, actually, Las Vegas is the one place we can get away with going all the way on the buttons.
There you go.
And I didn't expect it either, but this is something that I think a lot of people are overlooking, which is how well Derek Carr has played football. We power rank all of the quarterbacks, again, on PFF.com, and going into the season, we have him as the 11th ranked quarterback in terms of what he means for his team going forward. I think a lot of people would go, oh, no, Derek Carr, he's, average, below average. He's above average. John Gruden has executed an above average offense in Las Vegas. They have a hard schedule, but they have an underrated offense, and that's why we give them a decent chance to go above 500. Well, I think a lot of the country thinks they'll really be fighting hard just to get within a couple games.
Yeah, seems like another stacked division, certainly the AFC West. Look, we go to Vegas, all buttons are undone, and you know what? Extra gel in the hair. So.
All right, here we go. So that's Matt Money Smith, of course, there, and I talking to whoever that guy is from Pro Football Focus. But okay, so he's got him at 9. Okay, the old adage is it's funny because everybody wants to go through their schedule prediction and fans anyways, and usually your team comes out 10-6, right? In the old days. Mm-hmm. Well, now with a 17-game schedule, you're looking at 10-6, or which would be then 10-7, say, is likely an outside chance looking in on a playoff spot.
Right.
Now it's probably going to be an 11-6 type situation that we're going to need for the Raiders. So PFF has them at 9. Vegas has them at 7. Uncle Mosh, where do you have the Raiders as far as wins, knowing that 11 is probably going to need what we're going to need to make the playoffs?
Okay, so let's so let's go back a year.
Okay.
At the end of the year, we struggled a little bit. Let's not go quite back a year. But at the end of the year, we struggled a little bit. We were like, oh man, we were so wound up and whiny and cryy and snivelly about how the scoring, how the season ended up. But a year ago, we were like, 8-8 would be good. 8-8 would be good. 8-8 would 8-8. Now, yes, we all want to make the playoffs. Yes, we all want to win the Super Bowl. But coming off of the years, the lean years, we'll call them. We won't rehash them and make people cry. But I'm saying 10-7. Now, whether that gets me in the playoffs or not, I'm personally going to be happy with 10-7. I'm going to say, because you're the first one who's going to say, John Gruden, I love him, but he's a 500 ball coach. So go take me over 500, John. Take me 10-7. And I'm not gonna flip out and go, oh God, it's that year Murph talked about, it's that year Mikey talked about, it's that year everybody talked about. Oh, we didn't do it. We got to make changes. No, if we make the playoffs by the grace of God and Kermit getting his leg broke or something, okay. But I'm gonna be happy with 10-7.
Okay.
And whether I make the playoffs or not, because I'm not looking at the here and now. I'm looking at the big picture.
Okay. Which now that's fair. I don't agree. I think,
and you shouldn't, Mikey. Don't.
And I'm not gonna turn this into a back and forth by any means. But I think look, if we all just sit around and agree with each other, it's not great radio.
That's no fun.
That's no fun. But I 10-7 to me, I think, is the ultimate nightmare scenario. I think that it's
100%
because you're just outside looking in, and the narrative in the offseason from the Raiders will be exactly that well, we got better. Well, yeah, but we didn't make the goddamn playoffs again. Here's why I think it's so important is that when you look at and I'm not going to oversell that whole idea of like, oh, the legacy of all these people are riding. I'm not going to sell that. But what I am going to tell you is that right now, Derek Carr is the second oldest starting quarterback in the NFL that hasn't played in the playoffs, and the only one that's ahead of him is Ryan Fitzpatrick at 38 years old. And so, is that Derek's fault that he broke his leg and Trent Cole rolled up on him and he didn't play in the playoff game? No, it's not his fault. So I'm not. But what I'm saying though is that as long as these things exist, it just gives haters a reason to hate.
Sure.
It just gives people a reason to be not only critical about the Raiders, but correct in their criticism. And F all of them. We need to shut them all up. And so 10-7, I think, is a shortfall that thinking we got to make the playoffs, man.
And agreed. But you can't. You're looking at it as this. When you go to the Olympics and they have the 3 medals, they have the silver, the gold, and the bronze, and they ask the people, what's the worst medal to win? The silver.
The silver.
The damn silver, because you were so close. The bronze is, I'm just happy to be on the stand. And the gold is, I'm the best. So I'm looking at it realistically, and I'm saying, 10-7 wouldn't be bad. But that's the difference between, I'm saying 10-year plan, 4th year, 10-7, it's a good year.
Okay.
Whether we're there or not, it's a good year.
Okay. Swaggo?
This conversation doesn't matter because we're going 12-5.
That's what let's go! My dog, let's go.
Yeah, man. Whenever I go back and rewatch this show, I'm going to fast forward through that little 10-minute conversation you just had because it doesn't matter because we're going 12-5.
You say it the right way.
It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Yeah, man, 12-5, man, because this is what's going to happen. And I like what Paul said in the chat because I was just about to say the same thing. we start hot, man. We start so hot, it seems like, every year where we're like, we're halfway through the season and we've only got like 2 losses. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is our year. This is crazy. We get all hype. And then we lose 5 of our last 8 games or 6 of our last 8 games or something like that.
Or our quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. but you know what? This year, our defense is poised to make a run, and I don't think we're gonna. I think we're gonna get hot, and we're gonna stay hot, and we'll lose one every now and then, but we won't have these games where we lose a tight one like against the Chiefs, and then we go and get blown out by the stupid Jets or someone something
twist
like
Fitzpatrick's head off and lose the Dolphins,
something like that. None of that's gonna matter this year because
that one hurt.
Yeah, because when we lose,
that was rough.
When we lose, Gus Bradley's gonna get the boys ready the next week to say, hey, let's put that behind us.
Jeff,
let's
fire me up, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Let's
man.
go.
I'm ready.
Chat loves you too, man. Look at a lot of fireworks going off in there for Swag Jeff, man. That is
Aaron
awesome.
the Cute Dog Raider says Swag's Jeff's strongest show in weeks. I can agree with that, Aaron.
Absolutely.
He hadn't watched the TikTok.
Hey, so before we move on in this segment, you're right, Swag Jeff. What Mosh and I say, it just doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
Sure, they're terrific athletes, but it doesn't matter. Do you know that they use the most sophisticated training methods from the Soviet Union, East and West Germany, and the newest Olympic power, Trinidad Tobago?
Wasn't this all ad-lib?
Yes.
It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I tell you, it just doesn't matter. 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 Even if we play so far over our heads that our noses bleed for a week to 10 days, even if God in heaven above comes down and points his hand at our side of the field, even if every man, woman, and child held hands together and prayed for us to win, it just wouldn't matter. It just doesn't matter if we win or we lose. It just doesn't matter. 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 It just doesn't matter.
Oh my gosh, we haven't played that one in a while.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love that.
What a genius that man is.
Oh, Bill Murray, man. You can't beat him. You can't beat him. All right. Love that. So you're right, Swag Jeff. It just doesn't matter because the Raiders are going 12-5.
Right
man.
on. Absolutely.
You fired me up with that one. All right. So let's go to some bold predictions. So Mosh, let's start off with you here. So for the year, so I'll give you an idea. Like my bold prediction was Bryan Edwards is going to lead the team in touchdowns. Was my bold prediction. So give me an idea of your bold prediction, and then give me your idea of a win and loss record. Well, no, we already did that. You already did win and loss. You said 10-7. So give me the bold prediction on the season.
I think the 10-7 is going to be enough to get us into the.
Okay.
There's my bold prediction. It's going to be enough to get us into the playoffs and shut you people the hell up. I also think that for the first time in a very, very long time, we're going to have a well-ranked defense.
Oh, nice. Like we're talking like mid-back?
I'm talking higher than that. I'm talking top 10.
Oh, wow.
I'm going for it.
I like where your head's at.
Seriously, because defense wins games. We have the ability to put the points on the board.
Yes.
And it's going to be keeping the frogs in check. It's going to be keeping the donkeys fed, in their own side of the field.
Yeah.
That's just the way it's got to be.
I like it, Mosh. I love it. So Mosh says top 10. That is bold as shit, man. I love it. Swaggo, what do you got?
I had 2. And that was one that I was going to say.
You were going to say top 10 defense
top
too?
Top 10 defense.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like anything within 20, we're going to be really good.
Top 10.
You know what I'm saying? So you think 10?
But here's my bold prediction.
All right.
Everyone reminisces about the 2016 season. Oh, it was so great.
So nice.
Derek Carr, man.
Basking in the glory of Latavius Murray.
Yes, absolutely, man. Hey, this guy.
That sounded way weirder than it needed to.
That was a little weird, hot dog.
All right,
Easy there. But easy, big boy. But
Don't be choking
Don't
over
get
there.
me started on Khalil Mack.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no kidding. But hey,
Yeah.
you know what? And everyone, that was Derek Carr's best season he's ever had. Blah, blah, blah. This season is going to be Derek Carr's
Let's
best
go.
season he's ever had. Ever. I'm predicting he's going to throw for 4,500 yards.
Whoa.
4,500 yards and 40 touchdowns.
Damn, Jeff, that's MVP, dude.
He's going to be in the running
Oh,
for MVP this
I
year.
love it. All right, so there you go. So I won't ask you then who your MVP of the offense is going to be, because if DC goes 40 touchdowns and 4,500 yards, look, these are Madden numbers. This is crazy. But look, this is bold predictions.
We got an extra game too. You got to remember that.
Oh, see, that's
why I said that.
You guys are the best.
That's why
in
I
this.
said that. Derek Carr throws,
right.
the last couple seasons, 4,000-yard seasons and stuff. Now he's got an extra game, so he's gonna.
That's true.
It's gonna be 4,500 yards.
You're right. You know what? That doesn't make it even. I mean, yes, it's still very bold, but it doesn't make it far fetched.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's still okay. So DC is your MVP of the offense,
And Mariota's going to be traded sometime this season.
Oh, stop it. Don't make yourself cry.
you got an MVP on defense.
MVP on defense. I'm going to go. There's a lot of new guys, man, and there's a lot of temptations to say, is a guy like Yannick, or what about KJ Wright, stuff like that, which we haven't even touched on. Welcome to Raider Nation, KJ Wright.
Heck yeah,
but
man.
Max Crosby.
Very.
See, I was thinking the same thing too.
Max
You're
Crosby.
thinking Max is it?
Well,
Defensive MVP?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
For me, it's. I mean, I like where he's going with that. And I love the fact that DC is gonna the 4,500 yards is a fantastic. But I think this is Waller's year. I think this is the year that he gets that recognition, not that he craves, but that he deserves.
Yeah.
And I got to go back to my boy Abrams. This is also going to be Abrams' year.
I like it.
And wasn't it?
So is he defensive MVP?
I
type
do.
Caliber?
Yes,
really?
absolutely. And don't you think? Wasn't it those two that we saw on the horse?
It was Cleveland.
It was
Cleveland.
okay,
It was Cleveland. It was
yeah.
Cleveland.
But
Close. I know where you're going. Yeah.
But I'm seeing Abrams. I just think he's going to have that. He's going to have that build up that we thought he was going to have after Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen. And I just, and then last year was, everybody, sophomore slump, blah blah.
Oh, injuries, man. Yeah.
This is the year. This is
All
the
right.
year.
Nice. I like it.
So earlier, and I didn't want to interrupt our talk or whatever, but Ron the Materator had a really good point. So this was his bold prediction for a sleeper MVP for Monday Night Football.
Okay.
Raider Nation.
Oh,
Raider Nation causing offensive disruption all game long.
Man.
Yeah, I love that.
I do too, man.
I love
right
that. I think
on,
it's
Ron.
cool.
What else is the chat say before we get to Mosh and you for your breakout players and rookie of the year for the Raiders? Give me some of what else is going on in the chat as far as like some of their bold predictions.
Yeah, so let's see. Lee B says, want to see Max and Yannick tear it up, obviously. Abram, they said, Paul from Shropshire says defensive MVP will be Coach Bradley. You know
what? He's probably the smartest one of all of us.
I
He's
love
right.
that.
I love that too.
He's absolutely right.
Yeah.
So, and speaking of the chat, bringing up the chat, there have been many super chats that have come in that I want to bring up.
Okay.
Let's see. Mac Bud with 2 separate 5-pound donations,
which is like $65,000.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mac Bud.
Absolutely.
That can pay for the footballs.
Yeah.
Oh yes, absolutely. We'll send all the footballs to you.
Thank you, Mac Bud. Very
and then,
kind. Thank you.
Pyron 1975, a $5 donation as well.
Oh, wonderful.
Then
And
in his bold prediction,
Yes.
it says that we avenged 2 losses in history. We beat Brady and the Bucks this year in the Super Bowl.
Let's go! That's what I'm talking about. Way to go, Pirate 1975. Damn, I
love
almost came
that.
out of my seat on that one.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, dude, how cool would that be, man? And with Gruden on our sideline beating the freaking Bucks.
Yes.
Oh, talk about poetry,
Yes.
man.
And you want to talk about more poetry? Let's look here to Aussie Raider Aaron.
Okay.
His bold predictions. Jacob and Drake combined for 2,000 rushing yards, 15 touchdowns. DC, 4,500 yards, 38 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and 2 fumbles.
Always got to hit him with that.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Darren Waller, 1,200 yards receiving, 111 catches, 17 touchdowns. And the defense will combine for 49 sacks.
Damn. Love it. Now, hey, you know what's funny, though? Like that Waller prediction right there. Give me that Waller stat line one more time.
1,200 yards,
111 receptions and 17 touchdowns.
So he was, I don't remember the touchdowns, but he was 107 receptions at just over 1,000. So like that's right there, man, with the extra game.
Yeah.
Like that. I love it, guys. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be fired up, man. Okay. Watch this in week 10. We're gonna be like, everybody needs to be fired. Okay. Because we won like 4 games.
Silver and Blacksmith says DC 5,000.
I mean, I don't know about that. I think that the Raiders, John Gruden's West Coast offense likes to run way too much to see. Like, this is not the freaking, Patriots of 07 or the Saints or of recent history or whatever. I don't think we're going to be throwing the football enough to generate that kind of yardage. But I do like the idea that we have playmakers now that will generate yards, because you got to remember, like, the West Coast offense will test you deep at times and will test big yardage and a lot of passes. But for the most part, you're dependent on the playmakers to then, it's the yak. It's the yards after the catch. It's you know what I mean? It's Kenyon Drake catching a pass out into the flat and then making somebody miss and taking off. It's Henry Ruggs taking that quick slant. Yes. You know what I mean? Or whatever. And then turning it upfield, or like Hunter Renfrow does, which is crazy because you don't think of him as that kind of player, but he'll split a damn defense and take it to the house. You know what I mean? All right, so let's get into breakout players then. So Swag, let's go to you first.
Okay.
Give me your either side of the ball, doesn't matter. Give me your one breakout player for 2021.
A rookie?
No,
just breakout player.
Somebody to break out, somebody that's been kind of getting slept on or unproven yet to this point, and all of a sudden, man, they put their mark on the league. Man,
as much as I want to say Nate Hobbs, that might be too bold for old Swaggo. But I'm gonna say Trayvon Merrick.
Oh, Merrick, yeah, I like it.
Because and I think he's gonna have like 5 or 6 interceptions.
He's gonna thrive in this defense, man.
Yeah.
I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. Trayvon Merrick. Okay, so Trayvon Merrick is your breakout. So then if he's your breakout, he's your rookie of the year for the Raiders then. Because your player is one and the same. Yes?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that, yeah.
Okay. All right, Mosh, give me your breakout player for the Raiders and then your rookie of the year.
So my breakout player is going to be Ruggs.
Thank you. That's what I said.
It's going to be.
I like
this is his year.
Yes.
It's going to happen, and I think like we talked about earlier, when you've got defenses that are going to be gearing on Renfrow and they're going to be gearing on Waller, this is going to be Ruggs' year.
I think so.
And
a lot of single matchups, probably.
There's going to be, and you can't. He's just so flat. He's just so fast. There's going to be you alluded to it earlier, catching the ball and then the yak. So I think it's going to happen. I think that's going to be his. And then my rookie of the year has got to be Hobbs. I love that kid.
Love him.
Love that kid. I'm just excited to see him taking more heads off, man.
Me too.
And it's funny because those were the 2 names that I had written down. Those were the 2 that we talked about. I mean, it's just
love it. Gets me excited, man. This is great, guys. This is great. Any more fun comments in the chat room, Swaggo, before we move on?
Let's see. Aussie Raider Aaron says Marg defensive rookie of the year.
Love it.
A lot of people are saying Ruggs. A lot of people are saying Amik Robertson, Abram.
Amik Robertson. That's a good call.
That's a good one. A couple people said Brian Edwards.
Love it.
But yeah, man. Jack Kenna says Hobbs is going to surprise a lot of people.
I think so.
Totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Totally agree with that. I think by week 2 or 3 he'll be the starting corner on somewhere.
You think so?
Somewhere.
Nice. That's almost a bold prediction too, considering who we got in house. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That was fun, guys. I love Edwards, man. I want to get to a break here, Mosh, and let's get into the least liked team in all of sports. But man, Brian Edwards. If we've said it once on this show, it's been a million times. Derek Carr loves big targets. 2016, the year you talked about, Jeff, all of his touchdown passes, a majority of them went to Jared Cook, Andre Holmes, or Michael Crabtree.
Yes.
Big guys that can high point the football. Derek loves to throw the 50-50 ball and trust his receivers.
Yep.
And that's exactly what Brian Edwards is going to do. And don't you know, Mosh, in the red zone with Kenyon Drake back there, who can catch and run, who has power to him, and Darren Waller, and Brian Edwards. And and if we're in a 2 tight end set, Moreau's out there too. Our red zone wasn't bad to begin with. Our red zone is already pretty good.
We didn't even talk about our tight ends.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna have.
Have you ever this is the first time as a fan for me that there's nothing that I'm not looking forward to. I'm saying, man, I wish we, we're a little better
Right.
at this position.
What are we
going to
do when Jeff Heath starts?
Exactly. Yeah,
We've
exactly,
never had
man.
this kind of weapons before, Swag.
No,
guy. I'm with you guys.
and what's amazing is that people are getting so upset about cutting Tanner Muse, cutting Carl Joseph, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we talked about this team is now good enough where we can cut players that are good. And and still be okay. But I mean, there's not a position right now that I'm not super excited about. We haven't talked about Gerald McCoy tonight. Gerald
my
McCoy,
gosh,
the
I
dude
know, right?
breaking up the middle. I mean, he's going to have a
Thank
sack
you.
against Lamar.
Look at the people that we cut and the people that we put on the practice squad.
Yes.
Who are they better than? That we kept.
Yes.
Look at the people that we kept are the top of the top.
Yes.
I totally agree with you. And and something on this Muse thing, I'm going to say this real quick, and then I really do want to get to a break so we don't run too long. But on this Muse thing, look, it's a slow news week when Raider Nation is fighting each other on Twitter over Tanner Muse, a third-round linebacker. All I got to say is this, is that, look, the point is to get better at each position, okay? It doesn't matter to me, and I put this out on Twitter. Who gives a crap how you acquire players? It really doesn't matter. Is it a fair argument to say the Raiders need to or should or you would hope that they draft better? Sure. Everybody wants that. I don't dispute that at all. But what I do push back against a lot is that the idea that we shouldn't have done this move. We shouldn't have cut this guy. Why? Because you love Tanner Muse on Sundays? Tell me how many times you saw Tanner Muse make plays on Sundays. Now tell me how many times you saw KJ Wright make plays on Sundays. Which one of those guys do you want in the damn building?
Exactly.
I'll take KJ Wright all day long. And here's another thing. This probably was the Raiders' plan all along. So the idea that you, with your thumbs and your iPhone sitting on the freaking pot, so much, Twitter GM, this was probably the Raiders' plan all along to bring in KJ Wright. Because guess what? There's a thing called money. And the answer to every single story and the answer to every single question in the NFL and otherwise is where's the damn money? And we know, because we have a good friend that's a veteran linebacker, we know that the ultimate desire for veteran players is to skip training camp, sign before the season starts, get the veteran guarantees, and then start playing frickin' football.
Yep.
And what happened with KJ Wright?
Exactly.
That's it.
Exact what happened.
That's exact scenario. So Tanner Muse was probably on the cutting block 4 freaking weeks ago, but you didn't know about it because you don't live in Henderson inside the building and get to attend meetings with Mike Mayock. Okay.
Truth.
This is Raiders Fan Radio. I'm Brent Musburger, and I don't care who wins as long as it's the Raiders.
I like how Gary Kiss in the chat said, this team reminds me of 83. The team that just came out of nowhere, dominated, and won it all.
That's seriously,
Very
man.
reminiscent, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Or even in 80.
Yeah.
I mean, we went in and won the first team ever to win the Super Bowl as a wild card team. Mosh, you know that one incredibly well. Look, just keep sleeping on us. Just everybody,
I love that.
Everybody inside the building that wears Raider Nation colors and whatever, you keep sleeping on us. Everybody outside keeps sleeping on us. You know what? Here in the fan cave, we ain't sleeping. We are recognizing that this team is moving a very deliberate direction. It is highly talented compared to years past. And look, if you can't get excited for that, then I don't know what to tell you. Seriously, if you can't get excited for where we're at now, right, Mosh?
It's the truth.
Then what are you rooting for? Then why are you a Raider fan if you can't get fired up for this football team?
It's what I've been saying all along is every year's a building year. When you sign somebody to a 10-year contract, it's a building year. This year's our base is better than it was. We're getting that foundation. Here we go.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
All right, so let's get into this. This is funny, man. This cracked me up. So speaking of people not liking us, which we relish, by the way.
We love that.
Keep hating. Guess what?
Please hate on us.
It's been going on since 1960. You're not, what was it that Kenny on Pillaging Podcast always says? Don't act brand new. Okay, you hate the Raiders. Whatever.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cool. It's been going on since before we were born.
When I tell people, I say, I'm part of a Raiders podcast. They suck. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Tune in and listen. We don't.
Exactly. All right, so this is funny, man. So there was an article that came out this week. The Raiders are the least liked pro sports team in the United States, according to the Action Network. So they have this algorithm it's called Linkfluence, and it reviews social media listening data to analyze negative sentiment of teams from the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, and MLS between
Are you kidding?
No, between 2020 and 2021. Some people don't like girls, so I guess is what they do.
Hey, easy, hot dog.
I'm just making a joke. I'm just saying some people got a lot of free time.
Oh my gosh.
Some people watch Star Trek. Some people make sports algorithms.
Now for something completely different.
Okay, all right. So
You're so stupid.
all right. The Las Vegas
Hurry
Raiders.
up!
I'm trying.
We're running out of time. My life is running out of lifespan.
We always go off the rails somewhere. Look at Michelle in the chat. She says easy hot dog. Oh my gosh, I'm dying.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
America, go to the YouTube right now.
Kevin, I used your anti-fog wipes before the show started, and my friggin' glasses
They're
are
wearing
still
off.
fogging up. All right. Here we go. The Las Vegas Raiders are the least liked.
Jeff and I could probably do that. The
Yeah,
Las Raiders,
I'm gonna
like
turn
us,
this over to Uncle Mosh. Read that damn story.
Well, the Raiders are the least liked pro sports team in
what
the
I
U.S.,
said.
according to the Action Network. Using Linkfluence and a reviewed social listing data to analyze negative sentiment of teams from the NFL, NBA, NHL, LMLB, and the MLS leagues between July 20th, 2020 and July 2021. The Las Vegas Raiders are the least liked sports team in the U.S. Okay, with the Las Vegas Raiders, negative sentiment at 14.2%. Who do you think, Swaggy, out of all those people, all those sports leagues, who do you think would come in close? And I'm gonna pull out the folks from other sports.
Okay, so just NFL.
Just NFL.
Just the NFL. And I'll tell you, surprisingly enough, right under the Raiders are the Dallas Stars,
Yeah.
the Arizona Coyotes.
We hate both those teams, right, Jeff?
Yeah, I hate those
the
guys.
Philadelphia 76ers. I knew that one.
Yeah.
But then the next one up, the fifth, and they have 8.99. Who do you think that is, Swag?
Cowboys.
No. Surprisingly enough, it's not the Cowboys. We hate them here in the fan cave.
Yeah.
We hate I'm talking about this team. The team that's number 2 in the NFL. We hate them.
The Steelers?
Nope. The Bears.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, the Bears.
The Chicago Bears.
That's surprising
The
to
second
me.
most hated team in the
second
NFL.
most hated in the NFL. And now, again, the Raiders came in. They lead everything with a 14.2%. The Bears came in with a 8.99. Do you remember, Hosh? Do you remember who the third NFL team was? And they were about half of what the Raiders were.
I don't. No, I glanced at the list, but only to look at the top part.
It's a team the Raiders would hate.
Okay, probably the Cowboys.
The Broncos.
Oh gosh, really?
The Denver Broncos. No kidding. And then it drops way down. Then there's a bunch of soccer teams and a bunch the Edmonton Oilers and a lot of NHL teams, and it drops way down some more. The Utah Jazz is in there. The next hated team is the Houston Texans.
Wow.
I was surprised at that. Finally, coming in fifth, the Dallas Cowboys with 6.42, and the New York Jets.
Sure.
And that was mostly by their own fans voted for that one.
Well.
And Buffalo. Buffalo's rounding out the bottom.
Really?
Yeah, only to be bested by the San Jose Earthquakes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So there was only, out of all that, there was only like 7 NFL teams on there, and surprisingly enough, I mean, I'm a little shocked at Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, we hate the Broncos. That's a no-brainer for us.
Of course.
But I didn't know that America, hated them as well.
Well, it's funny because the data was sourced by studying social media, right? So, look, we often joke, but it's the damn truth. We eat our own on Raiders Twitter. Like, Raiders Twitter is some of the most polarized parts of, and not that social media isn't polarized anyways when it comes to many, many topics. But when you look, if you just put out a Derek Carr tweet, or you put out a John Gruden tweet, or a Mike Mayock tweet, or whatever, like, it's real easy to start dividing. You could put out a Raider Cody tweet and end up with half of these people not liking it, and half of these, you could put out a Mikey tweet. Half of these people don't like it, half of these people do. Like, it's very polarizing there. And so being that Raiders Twitter, as an example, is like that, but it's also like that on Facebook and a lot of the other areas where we have a presence at. We see it all the time. And so, but what Raider Nation is passionate. So whether, it doesn't matter what side of the argument you fall on, you're engaged. And I think that's why the Raiders end up at the top of the list. What's surprising to me is that where you would think of terms of popularity, it's teams like the Steelers and the Cowboys and whatnot. You would think that they would be up there, but they're not as active as we are. But apparently people in Chicago are, and people that are negative against the Chicago Bears are. So, Jeff, you're our social media director. Any final thoughts on this before we move on to the Sea of Fans?
No, I mean, yeah, everyone hates the Raiders and everyone hates on the Raiders, and a lot of it is from our own fans. And that's because we're passionate. We're passionate. We all are. We're tired of not being in the playoffs, tired of not winning and stuff like that. But just go to this article because we won. I love that. yes, just win, baby. You know what I mean?
And we won by a huge margin.
Well,
too.
yeah,
margin.
that's the way we like it.
Right
That's the way
on,
we like
Jeff.
it. Keep on hating.
Love it.
That's too funny.
He is baiting, looking. He's under the gun. He's caught. He throws. It is. He caught
it. You know what people haven't been doing?
What's that, Mosh?
They haven't been hitting the like button.
Hit the damn likes.
We haven't told anybody.
Press the damn button, nerd.
We haven't.
Just press the damn button, nerd.
We haven't told anybody to unsubscribe and then resubscribe.
Oh yeah, Jeff, tell them about all that.
And why do they do that? I don't understand all that.
So we got a little tip from the boys over there at Bussin' with the Boys that they've figured out the algorithm with the podcast. So if you are listening to this on the audio podcast, do us a favor, unsubscribe to us, then resubscribe to us, and then comment on the on this podcast that you're listening to,
and also on the YouTube. Comment on the YouTube,
and comment on the YouTube as well.
We love you in the chat, but after the fact,
leave comments, unsubscribe, resubscribe on the pod, and yeah, I mean that just helps us out big time.
Awesome, man. Appreciate that. Absolutely. Good stuff there. So, all right. So let's jump into the Sea of Fans mailbag. This is where we hear from the best of Raider Nation. More of you and less of us is always a good thing. Hey, call us, man. So you can call us at 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Leave a message, and if we play that message 3 times on the air, you can become a made man or a made woman, or you can email us an indefinite amount of times at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. That incredibly creative email address, once again, is show, SHOW, at RaidersFanRadio.com. And if you email us...
You're so stupid tonight.
I got some new seltzers.
You are cracking yourself up tonight.
They're not LaCroix. Yeah. So email the show, and if we read your message, which Uncle Mosh reads your emails, you can become a made man or a made woman. And so let me give you a little bit of a quick rundown here of what that list sounds like. All right, so these are the made men and the made women from all over the country, all over the world. We are so thankful for these folks. And if you want to join the crew, again, all you got to do is you join by participation. All you got to do is call or email us. And so let's hit the list here. So these are the no particular order. It is Jimmy Zebach, Hardcore Raider, Johnny in San Diego, Chuck Splatterhead McCann, Ron in Alliance, Alaska Raider, Dakota Raider, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Red in Yakima, Jim from the East Coast, Yayo in Jersey, Big Raider Trucker, Wyoming Raider, Diego in Georgia, Running Bear in Tulare, Mojo Raider, Junior in San Diego, Beto in?
You know the city.
James in Arkansas, Monster Mash Ken, Raider Rue in Utah, Ev Dog, Houston Raider Steve, Jesse in Kentucky, B-Dog in a pasture in Texas, Max in San Diego, Rev Raider, Raider 1, Eye Patch, Alex in Tucson, Ruben in Vegas, Dave in the 330, Kevin the Raider Nerd, Paul in Shropshire, Mississippi, UK, 24 Karat Kev, the Cool Ass Raider, One Nation Jeff, Chucktown Raider, Haley in Scotland, Lino the Full Metal Mexican, Central Valley Raider, RBK Raider, Coach Davis, Raider Ramon, Raiderborn Rico, Raider Trucker Dan, Sugar Shane, Super Deuce, Daniel Mangus, Just Win Johnny, Matthew Mangus, Pirate 1975, JC Raider, Fabricator Gil in the IE, Big Mike, Title Raider, The Big Easy, Kill Jadis, Stacy Rough Raider, Scotland's David Love, Miguel Ruiz, Raider Jeff and KC, Adam Hill, Michelle Sweat, Frank and NorCal, The Raider Critique, Raider Flash, Maritime Granny, Grampy Raider, Raider Karaoke Kid, Raider Chemist, and as of last week, OG Daniel.
Nice.
What's up?
Nice. Oops, wrong one.
Jeez, Mosh.
That was for my reading.
That was for the reading.
Awesome, man. Thank you all so very much. And again, we can't do this show without you. We have the best chat room that's out there in Raider Nation, the best listening audience, the best emailers, the best voicemails. Swag Jeff, shout out the chat real quick, and then Mosh, let's hear the emails.
Yeah, we got Ron the Mater Raider, Silver and Blacksmith, Michelle Sweat, Lino the Full Metal Mexican, Lee B, Raider Kojo, Big Easy, Silver and Blacksmith, Mac Bud, Paul Edgerton, Guy, Aussie Raider Aaron, Kill Jadis, Matthew Mangus, Raiderborn Rico is in there. Let's see who else. Tyrone Graves is in there. B. Al is in there. We got the whole crew, boys.
Okay, so I had to ask. I was asking Murph. Maybe you guys heard me. I thought I covered my mic, but I wasn't. I was asking what 330 was, but it was Ron in Alliance.
That's the area code. So
yeah,
330. Two guys that are made in the 330.
Yeah, nice. Hello, FRFR family. It's finally here after weeks of waiting. The regular season is finally upon us. It's time for my Week 1 preview. As I review my schedule prediction, I have the Raiders losing this game, but now I think we can win. The Ravens are down their starting running back, which only proves the point that you don't play stars in the preseason. Thank you. So true. Nevertheless, there are my keys to victory for Monday Night Football. Number 1, defense, please show up. For God's sake, please show up. We all know that the Raiders' defense was historically bad last year. The good news is it can only go up from here, right? Wrong. It's going to take a lot for me to believe this defense cause the defense right now. I'm not convinced. The defense has a huge test against Lamar Jackson. Stop him on the ground, and it'll go a long way for victory. Number 2, the offense needs to be ready for a shootout. The offense was top 10 last year, and they're going to need to be even better on Monday night, except Carr, he's got to be able to be near perfect to have any shot of winning, which isn't easy, considered Peters will be attached to the hip of Ruggs, and Edwards has to deal with Humphrey. What?
Humphrey is the cornerback.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay. The Peters reference threw me off. Number 3, Raider Nation is in full force. 50,000 people strong showed up for a preseason game. It was fond. It was, okay. I didn't know where you put this word in there. Anyway, it was crazy. It brought a tear to my eye. I expect it to be a packed house despite the vaccine mandate. The nation has wanted a home game for over a year now, and they get one. Expect and a sold-out crowd of passionate fans. That's all for me. Yours truly, Matthew Mingus. Proud, I say, proud made man.
Nice. Let's go.
Somebody said, hey, Murph, while you're up, grab me a beer.
I got you, Kill Jadis.
Yo, what up, Murph?
Hey.
Swaggy, and the one and only Uncle Mosh. I hope all is well and everyone is safe and in good health. Okay, first I'd like to reference back to episode number 167.
Wow.
You see, this was the episode after the 2020 draft. And Murph was doing a solo show after the first appearance of Jeff Murphy from the legendary Dominicos, 1407 Webster Street, Alameda, California, and 106 South Maple Street, Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Love it.
I love that.
Awesome.
Only Tada would know that, right? Not only was I made for the second time on that episode, but I called in live and Murph asked me who was my favorite pick, and I said Tanner Muse.
Yeah, I remember that.
I will just leave that there. I mean, it's not like this is the first time the Raiders made a shocking move a week before the season opener. I'm really excited about this season. If I sell a kidney and a big toe, I might have enough to make it to a game. Now, it's three things that I'm going to be looking for week one. Our defense. Edwards, and how many wings and beers do you consume before you date your cousin to fully transition to a KC fan?
Oh my God.
Wow.
Well, I guess we don't proofread these, do we, Mosh? That's hilarious.
Enough of the Lannisters. It is time for these so-called journalists and sport analysts to eat crow after the bird is cooked Monday night. Like David Bennett said, we don't need no cats. We need more dogs. All love and respect to
Nice.
Oh
my gosh.
Mosh, I wish you knew the Game of Thrones series because he's always making those Lannister comments about KC
well,
fans.
you guys have told me
It's
enough.
So funny. Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
Hey, everybody. I hope you are all safe and well. It's a somber start to this week's email, but a necessary one. This Saturday marks the 20th anniversary of the atrocities on 9/11. It's a moment in time that changed the world and brought us all together in a united grief. The question of do you remember where you were when it happened will be forever asked, and as for myself, I can remember every second. I'd finished work early, and I headed home to my grandmother's with some paperwork to complete, knowing I'd get some good food while I did it. The TV was on, and I can remember nearly turning it off to concentrate when the news channel came on, unexpectedly showing images of the North Tower and the smoke everywhere. The following hours were and still are surreal. Every year I watch programs about that day, not for any morbid fascination, but to remember and pay my own small tribute to those that were affected. Some of the firefighters and first responders' faces have become very familiar, and the bravery of the men and women that ran toward the Twin Towers, raced to the Pentagon, and saved countless other lives in Pennsylvania are etched forever in the memory. To all that lost a loved one and to those who continue to suffer from that day to this, please know you will never be forgotten. Salute.
Wow.
True heroes, one and all. Anyway, deep breath and on to our beloved Raiders. Everybody is making their final preparations for the opening weekend, and it would seem we are focused and ready to go. Of course, it wouldn't be the Raiders if we didn't have a side story for someone to go nuts with. Tanner Muse being waived caused quite a stir, as every social media went into meltdown, and some seemed to concentrate more on him leaving than the fact we had acquired KJ Wright, which to me was a huge signing for us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We all wanted to see a Raiders defense that could stand up to the rest of the league, and for the first time in a long time, we have one. Come on, bro. Our linebacker group looks very good. KJ Wright, Nick Kwiatkowski, Corey Littleton, Nick Morrow, Javin White, Divine Diablo, Denzel Perryman. If you don't see these guys in an improvement, then I don't know what to tell you. I like the look of Tanner Muse myself, and he may well still have a future with us. But if he had to be sacrificed for the greater good, then so be it.
Absolutely.
Bigger picture, people.
Yep.
Elsewhere, I'd like to give a shout out to Mark Davis for utilizing what was left of the desert and building an enormous Raiders mansion on it. Good luck to him. All you doubters and Davis haters out there, don't tell me you wouldn't do exactly the same thing if you had his money. I know I would. Leave the guy alone. He's earned it. It's his birthright. Also, this week, a Vegas journalist startled the world when he revealed the Raiders are the least liked pro sports team in the USA. Thank you, Paul. We just covered that. In other news, rain is wet. The sun is warm. And Philip Rivers' wife can't ride a bike ever again. It's always been always been that way and will continue to be that way. But guess what, fool? We don't give a rat's ass. We're Raiders Nation and we're proud. Paul is gone off the rails.
Oh my gosh, Paul.
We are now just 5 sleeps away from a new season. I'm excited, nervous, and apprehensive. Same as every year. By 1:15 a.m. kickoff in the early hours of Tuesday morning in the UK, I'll be pacing the room like an expectant father, and I'll be so full of caffeine, I'll be crawling up the wall. Dry ice, flashing lights, AC/DC, the Raiderettes, the stadium going wild, and the sight of seeing our guys run on the field, and I'll be ready for war. It's time for the talking to stop, and our boys to create their own history. Let's go, Raiders!
Let's go!
Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Egerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Pauly Award winner 2019, Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, BRT Sizzler scorekeeper, proud made man, everybody, five time plus one, winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Wow.
Paul
brought it. Paul ain't playing.
Oh my gosh.
Paul, you ain't playing. I know he's in the. Is he still with us? Holy chat.
Paul, your name Paul?
Paul.
I met him with Paul.
Who?
Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
Wow. So, so many areas there before we get into the voicemail. So first off, I'll just say, Paul, thank you for the incredibly powerful message around 9/11.
Absolutely.
And especially this time of year, we always reflect back on that. Those of us that are certainly old enough to remember those moments. And never forget where we were at then. And
20 years ago.
That's unbelievable, man. It's just it's crazy, and I'll never forget the conversation Uncle Mosh and I had on the phone directly around that. But I'll save that for another time. But man, thank you for that sentiment. And on to some of the lighter stuff, like oh my gosh, Paul, you can tell we don't proofread our emails.
But I did.
Jeez, all right. But one of the things he did reference was Mark Davis's new crib. So here's the plan for Mark Davis's new crib. Now look, there's a reason. There's like one big reason why I love this. Well, number one, it's like this big gnarly, like, you know what I mean? Like silver and black reminiscent, what do you call that, Mosh? What's a monolith?
A monolith.
But it looks like if you were to look at a Star Destroyer from the front.
Oh,
you see, you feel me? That's a Star
Yes.
Destroyer, man. That's straight up a Star Destroyer from Star Wars, man. So anyways, we appreciate that. And then one last thing too, he mentioned about how, it sucks we lost Tanner Muse, or whatever, but we got KJ Wright. Like, so it easily displaces anything that you would be disrupted by in terms of losing Muse. And to go back to Ty's email, like when he said, yeah, I do remember, like he called that. But if I'd have told you at that draft, hey, we traded away this 3rd round pick and we're going to sign KJ Wright, he'd have been thrilled.
Oh,
so
100%.
So don't take that one on the nose, man. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? I thought that was a great call out, you know what I mean, by Ty. But yeah, man, like, dude, look who we got in return. So anyways, all right, let's get to the voicemails. In terms of the made men and the made women, every crew needs a captain, and we call him Aaron. He calls himself Aaron. We call him Capo. I'm all over the dang place.
Jeez.
I know. He's Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. Let's go to him. He leads us off, I think.
Greetings.
There it is.
Tom Murph, consigliere Mosh on the boss Sonny, Sergeant at Arms for Sizzler. Big Raiders trucker, Mojo from the Universe Speech, Ramon the Mean King, Swag Jeff, Ron the Mater Raider Nation. You know, fixing the 25th ranked defense in yards and the 30th defense in terms of scoring isn't easy. And defensive coordinator Gus Bradley has been tasked with that undaunting endeavor. After churning through a roster and a few key acquisitions, he's putting some of his former players in place. We're talking KJ Rice, Darius Philon, Casey Hayward, Denzel Perryman, Roderick Teamer. The defense is now made up of enough veterans and quality players to begin instilling what we hope has been long ignored. Specifically, let's talk about the linebackers. I mean, it's been devalued and mismanaged by the Raiders for so long. The pass rush has been incapable of collapsing the pocket and taking the quarterback down. The secondary was devoid of ball hawks and decent secondary, players like safeties. And turnovers, were far too few to come by. Now, Gruden has made a number of promises. He's been given speeches after speeches and answered every question except for this. Can he win? Can the Raiders get over the hump? Will he restore the glory and get back to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl? So far, according to talking heads like Colin Cowherd and various Raiders content creators, the answer has been no. We've seen this team have a lack of depth, toughness, and crumble down the stretch in consecutive seasons. Changes had to be made, and for the most part, I think he's made those changes. Speaking of Bradley, he's been able to be a mastermind at other stops as far as his resume is concerned, as far as changing defenses. It's clear that there is a talent evaluation issue with the Raiders organization. See Tanner Muse. The best analogy I've heard of is basically a new lion taking over an old lion and getting rid of all the cubs. That's what you do as a leader. Now, Tom Brady, he's 44 years old, and honestly, he needs to shut his pie hole. He's talking about the relaxed position by the NFL on number eligibility changes and call it a stupid rule. Hey, correction. The Tuck rule is a stupid rule.
There we go.
I really don't have much time in order to go too much into depth. Today is my wife's birthday. I might have a little add-on, but as far as this is concerned, let's go out there and get it and prove all the hate is wrong. Oh, recently it was called into question about John Gruden and Mike Mayock trying to emulate the Patriot way on another podcast due to the sudden cutting of former third-round pick Tanner Muse. Recently, Gruden had some high praise for the Patriots. Here's what he had to say via Mike Reese of ESPN.com on February 28th, 2018. Oh, man, I'm envious of the Patriots. I really am. Gruden said at his 9:30 a.m. news conference, the Patriot way, finding players that are versatile, finding players that can adapt on a weekly basis to win a game. They don't care how they beat you. They're not afraid of the use of the 60-second clock in order to beat you, 60-minute clock, to beat you in the final seconds. And they're not afraid to blow out. It doesn't matter. Don't question me. I know what I'm doing, know what I'm talking about. Been in the game, and I ain't talking the game. Now, let's go ahead and talk about a silver lining. Latavius Murray, he just got cut by the Saints. I don't know about you, but he's better than anything that we've got as far as our third string depth is concerned. The hit list: Bradley Chubb, Colin Cowherd, Jim Rome, Stephen A. Smith, Mike Wilbon, Insurrectionist, and as per usual, Mike Ditka. We're all Raiders fans, but quit calling into question that and those who genuinely know. So act like you know.
I love it, man.
Come on, Gappo.
Love it. You know what? It's interesting. Like, we've talked about this before, that like John Gruden is building his version of the Patriots. And like, and look, I know we hate the Patriots and we hate that word and all that. But listen, that's the way that team is constructed is exactly what he's doing. And I'm going to give you a little example. In the 2020 draft, the Patriots drafted 2 third-round tight ends. I don't even know their names. I can't remember them off the top of my head. No one else does either. And then, what'd they do in this offseason? They signed Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. Yeah. Is anybody in New England freaking out that they are not capitalizing on their 2 third-round picks? No. Why? Because they got 7 goddamn rings. That's why. So let John Gruden do what John Gruden thinks he needs to do to build his version of the Patriots and hopefully a championship winning team. Like, that's all I got to say, man.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I get so tired of hearing people giving Belichick all this credit.
Okay.
I'm the first person to say, as a coach, the man deserves credit. Okay? He deserves credit. The Patriots deserve credit, okay, for what they've built. But they're not the first people to do that. Okay? There have been others that have done that. They may not have been as successful as they have with Brady and his, 87 rings or whatever he's got. But do I need to remind you of this big man named Madden?
Well, that's
Do
right.
I need to remind you of that coach in Dallas? Do I need to remind you of what's the trophy called? The Lombardi Trophy? There have been other dynasty builders who Belichick built after.
Sure, yes.
So he's just the one that's done it the best in our times.
Yeah, well,
so exactly what you're saying is that Gruden is saying, okay, we got to build. If that's the model that people want to speculate we're building after, but he was building the same way that Madden did it, the same way that Landry did it in Dallas, the same way that Lombardi did it in Green Bay. Or Chuck Noll.
Right,
My
right.
goodness, I hate that man.
Well, I think that the reason that the distinction is made is that when you talk about this era of the NFL, the way that free agency and player movement plays in, it's way different than it was in the 70s.
Yes, but the game was way different then, too.
Sure, absolutely.
And every single era has been different, and you have these amazing coaches, and you got Madden and Al Davis to come along and put that together. You have this whatever the top dog is at the time, they have taken that and they have built these dynasties. And other people try to do what they do. It just so happens that this one has lasted. We're in a time when it's lasted the longest.
That's the crazy thing is that with the amount of player movement, and you look at look, I don't want to turn this into a Patriot show, but you look at the amount of the different receivers that Tom Brady has had throughout his career, different tight ends, other than some guy like Gronk who's been with them for a long, long time. But it's turned over so much, and I think that's where Belichick is where when you mention all those guys, and your point is valid. I'm not disagreeing with you a bit. I just want to make sure that we look at the distinction that when Chuck Noll is winning championships during this era, it's with the same guys. It's Stallworth, it's Swan, it's Bradshaw, it's the Steel Curtain. They're not turning over where Belichick's teams are rolling over.
Correct.
And he's still winning.
And that was in the day when they did that. I remember the Cowboys used to say that nobody ever plays for another team other than the Cowboys.
Right.
They
exactly.
Yes. But by the same token, somebody in here wrote Spygate, Tuck Rule, Deflategate, Spygate 2, F that guy. Well, they didn't say that when Al Davis was intentionally, turning the sprinklers on, when we were writing dirty words on the thing, when we were telling people to lay their pennies out on the rails to get hot and try to throw them down the shoulder pads of the players when they were, every era has its thing. And
Absolutely.
we just happen to be living in this era,
Fair point. Absolutely. All right, Uncle Mosh, good stuff there. Let's get to some of these calls here. Let's start off with the conspiracy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's 4 of these guys. We found out tonight.
There's
Breaking
one.
news.
Don't know, Matthew. Which one do you think? Derek Carr jersey or Henry Ruggs jersey? Henry Ruggs. I think I'm feeling DC. I think he's going to, absolutely tear apart the Ravens. I agree. Swag, we understand that we've had our differences, but there's a dozen enemies tonight. There's such a dozen enemies tonight that the many twins are here to put a smackdown on the Ravens' candy asses.
Yes.
Let's
That's
go.
Right, Baltimore. You have been officially called out by the May twins. Swag knows it. The entire listening the millions and millions of the listeners know it. Baltimore. It's just a what the twins are cooking. That's right, Baltimore. You think Josh DeBow can protect you? Fluffing up your team, the Raiders are 1-9 on Monday Night Football at home. Well, guess what? You have just entered the Death Star. And guess what? You may fire when ready.
Let's go.
Yeah. Primary ignition. We'll see you Monday night. Let's go.
Let's go.
Nice.
Commence primary ignition.
Yes.
Nice job, Daniel.
I
and
love
Matthew
that.
Mangus, man.
Did you add that at the end there?
Yeah,
That was
man,
sweet. Good job.
Anytime somebody busts out a Star Wars reference in their call.
Oh, was there one?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right, we got two more to get to. Recent made man as of last week. Let's check in with our buddy OG Daniel.
Hey guys, I just wanted, this is OG Daniel from Chronicles of the Black Hole, and I know you guys made me a made man, and that's nice, man. I really appreciate that. But I was just sending a little message. Demarcus Russell, I was watching some highlights, and I saw that scene where Demarcus Russell buried Han Solo in carbonite, and I just wanted to go over that with you because, I mean, look at him. He's huge. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm still following along with what he's doing, but unfortunately we can't get him back as the Japanese sumo team has grabbed him up. He's a big boy. I mean, the guy kind of uses gravy as a beverage and likes that fried chicken. Just want to let you know.
Oh, my gosh. I love it, man. OG Daniel coming with the Jamarcus Russell hate. So I used to call, or I still do, I call Jamarcus Russell Jabustus Fatback was what my name used to go. But now I've got a new one. Because he says Jamarcus he referenced Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt. Yeah, I even got that one.
So Jababa there. All right, so we actually know Jamarcus Russell. Many of you in the listening audience may not know this, but we know Jamarcus. So I gave him a shout, and I was like, hey, this guy OG Daniel is, he's got something to say about you. Watching your highlights, you got anything to respond with in commentary?
I speak that. Nice. I know what he was saying. I need a large, extra large. No, make it a family size.
So just
and
for
a Diet Coke.
So just for nostalgic purposes, congratulations, Jamarcus Russell, because based on OG Daniel's call,
Fat of the week.
You look like melted ice cream.
Oh, I can actually hear you getting fatter.
Says he's fat.
Who's fat?
Too fat. Big fat fatty.
we got one more to get to. Let's see. What do we got? Kill Jadis. Love his phone calls. He's the northernmost Raider fan. And of course, Kill Jadis always calls and checks in with his good buddy, Raider Macho Savage.
So this is it, ladies and gentlemen of Raider Nation. It's time to put up or shut up. All of our questions will be answered on Monday Night Football. Will our O-line be better or worse than last year? And will our defense finally become that of Raider Nation teams of past of dominance? Oh, yeah. We don't got Arden Key. Luckily, our car has a Derek car. Has a push start. And when it's pushed the moment it's game time, you better rev up your engines, peeps, because it's off to the races. When Henry Ruggs hits the nitro and leaves everyone on top. Hit. The preparations are done, and the people that we selected are here. It is time for them to step up or get to stepping. It's playoffs or bust. No more excuses, no more failures. Only commitment to excellence, just win, baby.
His name is Darren Waller, and he is a grown man. Yeah. He's going to be double teamed on defense. He's still going to get his stats because there ain't no stopping him. Pull up a seat, fry up some meat, swig a cold drink, and don't even think that John Jacobs is going to produce Marcus-like numbers as he literally runs away from the competition. Yeah.
We have the ability to beat any team in this league. We have the power to kill kings, to slay dragons, and to decimate dynasties. You have to believe that we are capable of this because all of us know that this is possible for our team. Ooh, and Crosby and Guckley is coming, and there ain't going to be no quarter for quarterbacks.
Let's go.
There'll be no nickels and dimes extras. They'll be penetrating from the onslaught of our defense. When we exact the pennies off the other team's sense will scatter across the field, and they will know it's time for change.
We've been known as the autumn wind, but lately we've been the autumn fart. It is time now that we become more than the wind. We need something more sinister. We need to be the storm that is approaching, provoking teams' wildest fears with black clouds. We throw them in isolation. For we need to be the reclaimer of our name as the rightful rulers of the West and scourge of the NFL.
And our secondary is going to be a business partner with the Tooth Fairy. Because when a pass is thrown, they will parry. And they will bury their pass in the mouths of wide receivers and carry the tight ends off the field from Shattered Leg Bones from Raider Nation. Have you married?
Starting Monday, we take what is rightfully ours.
And we pluck the Ravens so that they're Peking duck.
It is time, Raider Nation, to become the darkness. Who is with me? It is time to bury their light.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, love it, man. Kill Jadis. Coming with the no quarter for quarterbacks.
I love it.
What a great line. So anyways, appreciate all the phone callers and emailers this week. And so the legendary Uncle Mosh takes us through, and he gets to pick his favorite every week and awards the best of the best. We call it the Sizzler Award. And Uncle Mosh, what do you have this week?
Well, we started off strong. We started off strong with the main guy.
The main guy.
And he gave us his top three. His top three choices, or actually his top three recipe for victory on Monday night.
Nice, yes.
Tada Raider came in there strong, had the addresses. Some people will do anything for a Reuben. Trust me.
Nice.
I know, right? And you got to love OG coming in strong with the Jamarcus gravy as a beverage. Loved it. And finished up with Macho Man and Kill Jadis, the hype talk. I love the crack about the autumn fart no more.
Yeah.
And I forgot to mention Paul. Paul. Everybody knows Paul. Paul came on strong and run it tonight and jumped out with another Sizzler.
Whoa. Let's go, Paul.
Sizzler.
Paul started strong with his food for thought about 9/11, and then jumped right into the Raiders. Didn't forget anything, brought up Phillip Rivers' wife, had all kinds of stuff in there. It was strong, it was humorous, it was right on time. It got the whole world fired up. And if you can't stand on your feet and pound your desk and say Raiders,
let's go, Mike.
After listening to Paul's email, you need to tune in to Kansas City Football Talk, or whatever the hell the name of that is.
I love it.
Nice.
Love it.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your
Oakland Raiders! You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
No, Aguilar.
So
there's some controversy.
So Paul
Yes.
is the Sizzler scorekeeper.
Yes.
Correct.
And he is one of the Maid of the Made men.
Correct. Oh, of course.
And
he's the capo of the email.
Yeah, and hasn't won a Sizzler in a long time
Well,
because he kind of made himself ineligible.
He did. He
Yes.
did. By becoming on staff, he made himself ineligible.
Yeah.
And I had to make a command decision
because you are the keeper of the Sizzler.
Absolutely.
When you write the rule book, you can rewrite it however the heck you want.
Exactly.
So now, so now, what do we have to go? 5 times,
plus
plus 1,
two,
plus 1.
Oh, do we go +1 or +2?
I don't. You know
care.
what? We'll know next week when Paul signs
writes it.
off.
Yeah.
I would say this though, Paul. Just please start off with that 5 time because that's the Booker T reference that we all love so very much.
Oh yeah.
So keep us with the 5 and then go from there. All right. So appreciate you so much tonight, Raider Nation. Appreciate everybody that was in the chat. Appreciate everybody that has jumped in on the audio version of this podcast. Appreciate everybody that's on the fan-sided website or Just Blog, baby. You're streaming this via the embedded player. You went there minding your own business, trying to find some Raider news, and 3 knuckleheads showed up and started talking about the Raiders and wrestling and all kinds of other stuff. So we appreciate you very, very much. We appreciate everybody that's new to the show. And so just do us a favor, and if you like it, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to us if you can. Make a comment on the videos. Leave us a review on the audio version of the podcast. Anything that you can do to support us, we appreciate. And know this, that any of the money that we make off of that support goes 100% to the Raider Nation Foundation, or excuse me, the One Nation Foundation. Swag Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. And we raised $75 tonight for the One
go.
Nation Foundation.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for everyone in the chat. Lino, the Full Metal Mexican, Aussie Raider, Aaron, Michelle Sweat, Matthew Mangus, Big Easy, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Paul from Shropshire, Lee B, Tider Raider, Aaron Butler, who is who, because there is no Ravens fan radio, is in here as a Ravens fan. So thanks for tuning in, and be sure to tune in next Wednesday after you've gotten your ass whipped. Uncle Mosh.
Come back.
Well, we appreciate that. We'd like to give a big shout out and congratulations one more time to my little buddy Tristan. Gonna be out there joining the fleet, man. Gonna be joining the fleet. Thank you all for listening tonight. You got my buddy Swaggy J over there. You got my real life nephew Murph over there to my left. This is your old Uncle Mosh, and you've been listening to Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. Remember, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland. It says so on my shirt.
Yeah, it does.
Nice.
Adios, my lingerers. Good night, everybody. Get your shots. Wear your masks. Drive safe. Go home.
See you Monday night.
Put your feet up. Pop a top.
Just win, baby.
Good night, YouTube.
Y'all be good.
Goodbye.
Beat the Ravens' ass.
Good night. God bless.